First off, I didn't know that yesterday was Bring Your Bike to Work Day. So, Kristy, sendrchick, welcome to Mountain Bike Q&A.
Thanks for inviting me. This is great. I'm excited, stoked to be here.
So tell me a little bit about yourself. Where do you live? What do you do? Tell me.
Hang on. Can I,
yes.
may I?
Crack it open, sister. There you go. To mountain biking.
Cheers, guys.
The sendrchick.
All right, man. I needed that. So,
oh, your audio got really weird there.
I'm sorry.
Your audio got really weird there.
Uh-oh. Hopefully it didn't drop.
Okay, now you sound better. Yeah.
I think I might have dropped some beer on the
laptop.
Sounded
like a monster.
Oh no.
I
promise I promise I'm not a monster. No, I live in Live Oak, California. That's in Northern California.
Up north.
Up north, yes. Okay. So a lot of great trails out in this area. However, the county that I live in Sutter County, there are no mountain biking trails. So we're having to travel an hour and 10 minutes to get to some decent trails. So when I'm not mountain biking, I work full time as a probation officer.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting. What's that like?
It's challenging at times. Definitely being a smaller statured female. I'm 5 feet tall, if you didn't know that. I am vertically challenged. Makes it difficult to find a mountain bike too. But dealing with our clientele makes it a little bit of a challenge, but no, it's a fun career. I like dealing with our population. I like motivating and inspiring them to change, and I feel like I'm their personal trainer, essentially trying to coach them on life. So it's definitely a rewarding career. I like it.
That's great. That's maybe one of the most interesting ones. A probation officer. Wow. How'd you get into that? Were you in law enforcement?
I graduated. So none of my family is in law enforcement. I decided to dive into it and try it out. I started at juvenile hall a few years ago and dealt with some of the youth there, and decided I wanted to be a PO, and been there for about 4.5 years now. So I feel like it's for me. I like it.
Good for you, man. Making people's lives better. That's great.
Trying.
So family, kids, husband, dogs.
Yes. So I am married. My husband, Nick, he's my partner in crime. We like to tackle the trails together.
Nice.
He's my supporter. He's usually the one pushing me to do these scary features. So he honestly makes me probably a better rider. Don't tell him I said that, though. And I am a dog mom of 2. He will use it against me.
You're a dog mom of 2.
Yes. Tucker and Abby. I have an American Eskimo. He's a fluffy little white thing, and a black lab.
Nice. Yeah, I'm a father of 2 dogs. I've got a miniature dachshund.
What kind of dogs?
I have a miniature dachshund, and I have we just rescued one about 2 months ago. I think he's part beagle, part lab, all crazy.
I was going to say that's a lot of high energy in one little dog
body.
Oh, your audio did that thing again.
Oh, shoot.
I hope it's not like
How's that working out?
Beautiful. So, okay, let's, and this, I don't write questions down just because we're just chit-chatting. When did you get into mountain biking? This probation officer sendrchick.
Oh, okay. All right. So I started mountain biking April of 2020, right when the pandemic started. vacations got canceled, things shut down. So we didn't know what we were going to do with our time. So we went to the bike shop and bought Trek Marlins, little commuter bikes, thinking that we would take them, down sidewalks and have fun. But we ended up taking them down a trail in Auburn, a flow trail, and we just got hooked.
Together as a husband and wife?
Yeah, we were trying it out together and we liked it. So we went and bought full suspension mountain bikes. I bought a Live Intrigue up in Shasta and just started tackling some of the harder trails, started going to like North Star and Shasta Bike Park and just kind of got hooked. I will say I do have a funny story. 10 minutes into riding my Trek Marlin, I saw my husband, jump the curb to go over. So I'm like, oh, hey, cool. I have this, what I thought was an expensive bike at the time. I was like, oh, I can do anything with this bike. So I go and I jump it, or I thought I was jumping it, missed the curb completely, slid out, but I bailed, so I didn't fall. But I was like, holy shit, I have a lot to learn.
Do you remember how much you spent on that bike?
Yes, $550.
Yeah. And then you realized at some point that $550, how quickly did you go and buy a different bike?
I want to say 3 months later, we upgraded, and that bike, that Live Intrigue, was $1,800. And I thought, who would spend that much on a mountain bike?
Yeah.
Here I am with bike number 3. I have a Specialized Stump Jumper Evo Expert. That was $6,000. So
yes, ma'am. You're living my dream.
Oh man, is there such thing as a cheap hobby though?
No, but the funny thing is I only have a rock hopper right now because I'm a Specialized freak, but where I live in Miami, there's not a lot of, we don't send it. I'm not a sendrchick. There's a lot of techie stuff, but I bought it because it was the only bike I could find during COVID. I had no idea. I had moved and my bike was all messed up and I went to a bike shop and I looked around. I go, where are all the bikes? And they said, they're gone. COVID took them away. And so as soon as I found anything, I bought it right away. So I plan on upgrading, but right now I still have a rock hopper.
Oh my gosh. What do you want?
I want what you want. A couple down. I can't go with the Evo, but I do want a stump jumper.
Okay. So a stumpy?
Yeah, I want a stumpy.
Okay.
How do you like?
Hey, I love my bike. Oh, I was going to say, I love my bike. So I upgraded. Well, I went from a small frame to an extra small frame. So it's a little bit smaller, but the wheels.
So that was a little bit of an adjustment for me just because of the standover height. So I feel like, I don't know, my little legs
are like dangling over. So if I were to fall, it's kind of hard to catch myself.
Yeah.
But no, the bike rolls over everything. It's great. I'm going to actually race it at Sea Otter.
Oh, wow.
In April. So I'm excited to see how it does and how I do, obviously.
That's right behind you too.
Yeah. So
your bike right there.
Right over here.
Nice.
Her name's Minty.
Minty. I can see that. Looks fresh.
Yeah.
Minty fresh. And hubby's bike
really
too.
cool.
Is that Evo?
Oh, so that's my husband's bike. He has the Status.
Okay.
So super slack. Definitely really fun. And North Star has the mullet. So he loves it. I thought I wanted a mullet, but
what, he's got a 29 and 27.5?
Yes. It should make it faster, right?
I don't know how I'm sketched.
That angle.
Yeah. Anywho, so you got bit by the bug. How long did you ride that Trek? And how many did you start hitting the trails right away with it?
So I had that trek for about 3 months. Took it down some sidewalks, took it to Auburn, took it to Oroville. So we took it to some low key trails.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't until our friends who a girl I went to college with, introduced me to the hardcore trails, let's say. She
Nice.
has had a full suspension and she was like, "Hey, follow me, let me show you the way." So I mean, if it wasn't for her, I'd say we'd probably be still maybe riding down those sidewalks.
Yeah.
I just unleashed a whole new world, it seemed like. We were just so oblivious to it before.
Oh, I love hearing that story. I have the same. I can't even remember. It was a Cannondale M300. It was kind of a hybrid, and I turned it into a mountain bike. And I remember a friend took me on a trail, and you get bit. You get bit by that bug, and you're like, oh, there's dirt and there's coral rock down here and roots. And what did it feel for you? What went through you? Was this the excitement and joy of conquering something you've never done before?
I think it was just the high speed flow, flying down like a perfectly grounded dirt trail and just like getting the blood flowing. Like it was exciting. And it challenged me to develop some new skills. Like I'm competitive naturally. I grew up playing sports, so like
Uh-huh.
this was just like my jam. Like I felt like it was something that was going to motivate me to get better. So gosh, I remember going to bed after riding one of the trails and I was just like dreaming of riding again. Like it was just that feeling of excitement. Like it was cool.
Oh, that makes me so happy to hear. I love hearing the stories of when people first get on the bike. Now, after the trek and you jump to the next bike, did you find your skills and your confidence go up because of the bike?
Um, Honestly, I didn't find my confidence until I went down a trail. I don't know why everything happens in Auburn, but I was riding with my husband down one of the trails in Auburn. It was Connector Trail, and he just completely like left me behind. And I was still, pretty
Yeah.
new to mountain biking. So, one of the guys, there was just traffic on the trail, and one guy passed me, and then ended up meeting my husband down the trail, and my husband was looking for me, and he was worried. And the guy was like, "Oh, she's way up there, she's just a little bit slower."
Ooh.
And I was just like, when I found my husband, I thought to myself, like, man, I really got to start pushing myself.
Forced me to get out of my comfort zone and kind of just essentially just
Send it. So that's what I've been doing,
So
letting go of the brakes.
letting go of the brakes. And I've only downhilled a few times. I go out to Jackson Hole, Wyoming a few times. We go out yearly, actually. And downhilling so much different compared to Miami riding. And your forearms get tired from squeezing the brakes. I'm a flatlander down here, and you guys are breeding YouTube mountain bike YouTubers out there in California because you guys just send it. Do you let your
Yes,
do you let your husband where was I going with this? Do you let him pull you through the track? Do you follow him? Do you let him, you know what I mean? Like he gives you the motivation, he's going ahead, you keep going behind him. You guys travel together down the trail?
actually, it's reversed now. So I want to say
Oh,
I'm a little bit faster than him.
that's what I want to hear.
I started picking up some speed and confidence. So like, I mean, I just feel really good going downhill. So he'll be behind me. I usually lead the way. We usually ride in groups.
Mhm.
So we'll be somewhere either in the middle or up ahead leading the way.
Were a lot of your friends already mountain bikers, or the community has come
So
together?
I would say because of a group called MTB NorCal, they're a local group out here. They're out of Nevada City. If it wasn't for them and hosting dirt days, we wouldn't have met some of the people we've met. They kind of introduced us to some local riders. So we're riding with them almost every weekend. So it's pretty cool. And like going to some of these events hosted through like MTB NorCal or Fat Track, you're just meeting so many people in the community, and you don't realize how tight knit and small this community is. It's cool to see.
That's amazing, man. I'm a fan of yours, and I'm a fan of, your other YouTubers out there, your Colorado kids and all those guys. And the California is just this really tight knit mountain bike community. I mean, do you get to see other YouTubers out there?
So yeah, I mean, it's a small community. I'm getting to know some of the other YouTubers. I actually saw Joe a couple weeks ago and joined him for a quick little ride up in Nevada City. I think I've met Biker once. I haven't met BKXC yet. I'd like to chat with him a little bit because I want to do some trail work up there in the, what do they call it? The shred quarters. He's building. Well, you interviewed him, so I'm guessing he talked about it.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, it's amazing that community out there. I mean, I don't know where you are in comparison to all those guys, but I just feel like you guys are just popping YouTubers out over there. And let's get to sendrchick.
It's the thing to do.
Let's get
What's that?
Well, let's get to sendrchick. How did you come up with the name? What inspired you to come up with the YouTube? Because I'm still wondering why I came up with this one.
That's funny. So
because it's not easy.
No, it's not at all. I created the YouTube channel before I created the actual name and the logo. So
really?
Originally it was Kristy's MTB Adventures.
I like that.
I had a hard time figuring out the name. So it wasn't like I was sitting there watching. Are you familiar with him?
Who?
Biking with Bobo.
Oh yeah, he's in what, North Carolina? He's over there.
Yes, very, very popular. So I was watching one of his videos, and he and his wife are on a trail, and he was like encouraging her to just, send it. And he was like, just send her, babe. And here I thought, send her, babe. Well, I can send it, and I'm a girl. So like, how about sendrchick? Like, that sounds cool.
I love it.
So that's how it started. And it just kind of stuck with me. I'm like, hey, I like that. So when in doubt, just send her, right?
That's awesome. I love hearing how people come up with these names. It's amazing. It's not easy, is it?
No, it's not. I definitely was hesitant to start the YouTube channel. I liked watching, Biking with Bobo, Mahalo, my dude, like some of these bigger names. And I was thinking like, man, there's not a lot of girls doing it. Like, why should I share my story? Like, who's going to want to see that?
Me. Plus, I feel like a lot of the youth, it's like a boys club. Mountain bike. That's why I wanted to get you on, is because I feel like you could be the voice for female mountain bikers. It's all dudes, and you guys are sending it. I was watching just some of your videos just earlier today, and you're going down rock slabs and drops and stuff like that. I just feel like you're misrepresented. That's all.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I finally, with enough convincing from the husband, he was like, you know what? Do it, encourage women to go out there and show what they can do. Because I mean, hey, we're badass too. We can shred too,
Yeah, you're a probation officer.
I'm a nice probation officer. I won't take you to jail right away. I'll negotiate. We don't lock people up, just because.
Now, are you inspired by other female mountain bikers or female mountain biker YouTubers? Do you watch your Dusty Betties or other? I don't know if you've ever heard of her, but any other?
So
female YouTuber?
Yeah, no, I like Christina Chapetta. She works with Pink Bike. I love her videos. Yeah, like, and like, I mean, I'll watch like some of the Crankworks events and like
Yeah.
Kilani Hines and stuff. Like some of those girls that are just like up and coming. I'll watch them, but yeah, if you look on there, there's not a lot of female YouTubers out there. So
Come on, sendrchick. You're the inspiration that other women need because you're killing it.
I think I'll need, thank you. I appreciate that. I think I'll need to quit my job. I'll need to get a Sprinter van and I'll need to live in it and travel. Actually, you know what? Van Girl Yuka. I love her. She's great.
What? That girl doesn't have, there's a thing in my head, and I'm sure it's a little bit in your head sometimes. It's called fear. She doesn't have it. I love watching her. She is so inspirational.
It makes you not want to second guess and just send it. Like, I mean, I'm definitely inspired by her. Like, she's just amazing.
Now talk to me about
And her skill set.
talk to me about where you ride. Where do you ride mostly? North Star, is it?
So during the summer, I like to hit North Star a few times. I've hit Mammoth once. I want to go back there. So like summertime's like bike park season for me. We'll go up to Shasta and ride there. But like during, well, we don't truly have 4 seasons, so we're fortunate enough to where we can ride all year round. So I'll primarily ride like mellow trails in Granite Bay at times, but like we'll be out in Auburn. I hit Rockville last weekend. Like I'm just trying to get more exposed to different trails out in the area. Like I plan on exploring at least a couple hours out and just kind of seeing what I can find and to test my abilities for sure.
What is but what's your favorite? I don't know any of these places. I've never been out west to ride.
My favorite trail, like my favorite local trail would have to be Hoot Trail in Nevada City. It's just a mile or so long, but it's like all flow, sweet berms, a couple jumps. It's a fun trail. But if we were to say outside,
Go with Maui for sure. I went to Maui in August. We rented some bikes. My husband and I rented some bikes and went to the Makawao
forest where they have the Pineapple Express Trail, and like, man, it's just like 4 or 5 miles of like flow, and then they have like a skills section where you can do drops and stuff. So it was a good time.
I was going to ask.
I would go back.
I was going to ask you about Maui. I have a lottery plan to move to Hawaii, Kauai actually.
Oh wow!
It is so beautiful. Anyhow, I went to the Big Island. I went to Kauai, and it's just a mountain bike. I didn't mountain bike, but just the scenery. Forget about it. Forget the trails. Just riding through that would be amazing. And you got
okay.
to do
So
it.
you move out there, and we'll build the trails. How's that?
Boom. I even have, I got a Hawaiian fish hook, and then the letters, there's our numbers are the coordinates of where me and my wife got, we renewed our vows
Oh
in
wow!
Kauai. It's the most amazing. Yeah. And then I was watching you ride in Maui, and I'm like, it had been breathtaking.
Oh, you got to go out there. You got to try it. I don't know what's in Kauai, but I mean, Maui was amazing.
Now, backing up, back to trail, you started out in 2020, and then you're hitting a curb and you're messing up on a curb. And now, fast forward, I'm watching you go down rock slabs and drop off 2 rock slabs, and just I don't even know where to go with this. It's just it's so amazing to watch you progress. And I think that's what I liked about your channel and mostly your Instagram, is to watch how far you've progressed. And Is there anything you won't do? Or is there a certain thing that you're still like, I'm not there yet?
I will say I took a pretty bad spill probably a month ago. I tried to do like a rock jump and I caught it wrong and I went OTB and landed, just over the money maker over here and then like on my shoulder. So like, oh God, like I feel like that's kind of stopped my progression with jumping. So I mean, if I can clear some gap jumps and stuff, like that's probably my main focus at this point is trying to get more comfortable and confident with my jumping again.
Oh, how hard is I hate doing that when you mess up once and then you get that mental block and you can't do it anymore. And it's at my age, I'm like, well, do I want to do it? Is it worth doing? I get this. The hip. There's this one trail down here. It's called Virginia Key, or the whole park is called Virginia Key Mountain Bike Park. It's on an island, and Hurricane Irma just pushed all the trees down. So almost the whole trail is wooden planks, wooden bridges. And there's one where you go up a hip and then it's like a real steep. And I went up and I've never ridden it before. And I went up and I saw down and I kind of hit the brakes and just fell over to the side. Can't do it anymore. Can't do it anymore. Check, please. I'm done.
Oh man, that sounds insane. So it was like a blind drop essentially.
Yeah, it's like you go up, so you're looking up, and then all of a sudden you're like, no, I wasn't ready for that. It's a skinny. It's like 12 inches, 24 inches wide, and it's a real steep drop, but that mental block. So
yeah,
for you, your mental block right now is doing a double or a gap.
I would say like some of those rock jumps, like that you just pop off on, those are what get me at this point. And that's what's kind of stopping me from doing some of those doubles. It's crazy to think how much of a mental block there is with mountain biking.
It is, well, because you know what? You don't want to go to the ER.
Yeah, I don't think my work would approve of that. I mean, God. I still have to wake up and go to work, like it just kind of sucks because you want to try these things, but like, I mean, I don't want to be in a cast, knock on wood,
Yeah. Yeah. I've got good health insurance. I just don't want to use it. So, okay. YouTube, back again. You start this YouTube page. Is it something that you were like, I want to get this thing going? And I want it to be big, or was it something that you want to just throw up there for friends to watch?
At that point, let's backtrack because this was 6 months ago in July.
Yeah, this is brand spanking.
It's pretty new. God, like in July, it was my birthday. So I was like, hey, I'm going to go and buy a GoPro and see what I can do. At that point, I was just having fun with it and editing and uploading just to share. And I didn't really think anything of it. I was just like, hey, maybe people would enjoy some of my experiences. Maybe some women would be like, hey, look at this girl doing these things. Maybe I can go out there and do those things too. Mm-hmm.
So you did it as an inspiration.
So that's what. Yeah, I guess you could say that. I never thought about it like that, but yeah, just kind of encouraging women to go out there and try it too. I mean, it's not a boys' club. We can do it too, Yeah.
Except for my wife.
Ooh.
No, I took her.
What's going on there?
I took her once. She had bought a mountain bike and I took her once and she was like, I don't know why you thought I could do this. And screaming, and then there was some yelling, and I think maybe there was a stick thrown at me.
Oh my God. So definitely not her forte then.
Yeah, no, that's not in her wheelhouse. Bigger
Okay.
than your YouTube is your Instagram. I think it's first off, I didn't know that yesterday was bring your bike to work day.
Yeah, Wednesdays are bring your bike to work day. You didn't get the memo, I guess.
I didn't.
Man.
How do you keep that up? Because I'm asking that for my own 'cause I can't keep up the Instagram. Is it always in the back of your head?
Yeah, I'm like always thinking of cool picture ideas, cool content, cool clips to post, but it's all based on an algorithm. So I mean, it's just when to post and the music you tie in with it and the hashtags. It's crazy. Like, and you have to be consistent with your content. Like you should be posting at least a few times a week. And I try to post at least 5 to 7 times a week.
This is where I'm
And
failing.
people like the interaction. Go ahead.
This is where I'm failing. I need the Instagram.
Yes. So if people message you or they comment on your pictures, I mean, people like that initial like conversation, like they want you to engage back and stuff like that. So I try to comment back on every single comment that I get, just because when I comment on stuff, like I appreciate people replying back to me. So I try to do the same.
Yeah, I find being present, especially with YouTube, even if somebody comments, just getting it right away, like, and the interaction, people want to go like, oh, here's a creator. They're coming back to me. They're replying and they feel a part of it. But you're killing it on the Instagram. And I'm not on TikTok, but I know some of your Instagram stuff is on TikTok, or your TikTok stuff is on Instagram. And it's the fun
Right.
little,
So
you
yeah.
throw the shoe up and you catch it. Next thing you know, you're boom, you're all up. I love that.
Yeah, those transitions are really cool, right? Like just some of the stuff that they got going on. Like, I mean, I'm still catching on to TikTok, so I mean that's a challenge for me to learn and try to keep up with the trends. But I mean, it's fun. Definitely, it keeps me on my toes and tries to get me to be more creative. So I like it. It's a good challenge.
Did you always have this little creative bug in you to want to do all this? Or is this something you're learning as you're going? Or you're like, I start a YouTube page, I probably should get somebody watching it?
No, I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't really consider myself creative. I have a boring job. Like I'm a
So good
PO.
at it.
I write reports and I deal with our clients. Like I didn't think I could do this creative thing and think of content on the fly and just produce. So I mean, it honestly surprises me at times.
No, I'm telling you've got something. You're doing good. You're doing good. I love the Instagram. I'm amazed that like you don't have a lot of content on YouTube yet. You've got what, 30, maybe 30 some.
Yeah, I don't have a ton of videos on YouTube. I really documenting, editing, and producing some more YouTube videos, but I feel like I've had such great success with Instagram that I kind of focused on that.
But see, it
just getting
translates
companies
well.
to reach out. I'm sorry?
It translates well. I think I found you on YouTube first and then went to, and I don't even know how I found you, to be honest with you. I usually remember that moment, but I found you on YouTube and then followed you on Instagram. Here's a funny story is we were talking about the boys club. So I came home the other night and I was talking to my wife. I was like, this is becoming a boys club. I really want to diversify. I'd like a female writer. I'd like a kid. I'd like, whatever. And I said, there's this girl that I've been following on the YouTubes, sendrchick. And she goes, well, reach out to her. And that night I had posted something about me getting some new tires. on my Instagrams and I saw that you liked it. And I go, that's Kismet. I said, she hit like, and I was just talking about you not 10 minutes earlier. So that's when I was like, you want to do an interview with this little guy?
Oh man. I guess it was meant to be then, right?
Meant to be, sister. So
all right,
back to so Instagram. Are you constantly thinking of this stuff? And this is just for me, probably. I want to learn from you because you're killing. You've got well over 1,000 followers, and you just started.
I'm honestly, yeah, exactly. So I started my Instagram back in July, and I'm honestly shocked with how fast it grew. Like I'm up to 1,100, and just the comments and the messages and stuff, like I honestly feel special at times, like people just reaching out to me and just saying like, hey, it's so cool to see your manual video, and like keep going, keep training, keep working hard. So like that's like rewarding on its own, just to have people kind of push and motivate me. God, it's great. Like it kind of adds fuel to the fire and makes me want to keep pushing and keep trying.
That's incredible. It's got to be a great feeling to start something in July and already having people just
yeah.
Wow, look at this girl.
So to answer your question about content, we'll go out and ride, a couple days. If I have a long weekend, we'll go out and ride 2 out of the 3 days, and we'll just kind of do clips and stuff. And then like, I'll kind of review it and kind of throw something together for Monday morning at 9 a.m. to post. So it just kind of depends on what content I have at the time.
Nothing's really planned, which is probably bad. I should probably hire a PR specialist or something. I don't know.
What are you editing on? What kind of equipment do you got there? What kind of you got the GoPros? Are you editing on like a Final Cut or just a iMovie or?
So I'm pretty limited to what I have. I'm only recording on my GoPro 9 with a max lens, and I'll edit on my cell phone. I'll use InShot. It's crazy, I know. We're actually in the process of upgrading to some better editing software and getting a new laptop. So we'll see if that changes things. I'm curious to see what it'll add to the YouTube videos.
Oh, the sky's the limit for you, sister. You brought up something that I wanted to bring up, and I would have forgotten about it. How are the manuals going? They defy physics. Okay. I don't get them.
They're great on the manual trainer, but I mean, if you take them to the streets or something, they don't translate. Like, I don't know what it is. It's just maybe getting the right speed to where you can kind of pop up and get to that balance point. But like, I'm not getting there. So I know maybe I'll do 7 days on the streets with working on my manuals, and let's see if that helps. But it's definitely not an easy skill to acquire.
No, and I watch people jump and land into a manual, and I'm like, I don't even understand it. It defies physics.
Yeah,
Is your husband? Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
No, you go. You were talking manuals.
I was gonna say like most of these people that can do those cool things seem to come from like a BMX background. Like we have a buddy that we ride with who can do like a 360 on his mountain bike, but he has a BMX background. I'm just like, how is that even possible on a mountain bike? Yeah. It just seems crazy to me.
I was going to ask, has your husband mastered it yet?
No. So he's still working on the manual trainer. And he hasn't dedicated as much time as I have, but he seems to be, he'll get it. He's great. He's a lot better than I am. That's what pushes me to want to try all these different skills.
I just think it just amazes me. Like, you started in 2020 and you dedicated yourself to this. You've got a YouTube page, you're TikToking, you're Instagramming, like, and you're riding a lot. What is it about mountain biking that brings you so much joy?
I think it's just the atmosphere. I think just being out in the middle of nowhere, just sending it, and like you get your blood flowing, you're going fast, you're pushing yourself. That's what kind of helps me decompress some of the stuff that we have to deal with in life,
Uh-huh.
Like, I mean, my job's not easy. So, I mean, just going out there and forgetting about it for the weekend really helps. I think it's great for mental health.
Yeah.
It's great exercise.
I mean, the beers afterwards don't help, but
I mean, it's, it's just, it challenges me, and I like that. It pushes me to grow.
That's what I
And
like.
like being,
Well, I was going to say, that's what I like about mountain biking is it, everything else in your head is gone. You focus on what's right in front of you. So everything else that you've been dealing with all day or all week it's gone. It's just what's in front of you.
right. It's essentially therapeutic, right? Because you're shutting your brain off because you're more worried about not crashing into a tree,
Yeah.
right? Because you're going so fast.
You're a sendrchick, and that's not derogatory. And it's without an E.
That's right. No E.
When you first sent it, how did that feel? When you first popped both those wheels off the ground, because there's videos of you doing it. I know you do it.
God, just like, I don't know what it is. It's either like the jumps, the drops, or just like going full speed down like a flow trail that just really excites me. But God, just makes me want to go out and ride, Like, it's just amazing the way it makes you feel.
I
It
love
just kind of gives me the motivation and confidence to go out and keep riding.
the way you talk about it. It's
I'm hooked.
Yeah, you are. First drop. Did it take you a minute? Because I'm still
So
that's
we
my white whale. I'm still not very good at
okay, so
drops.
oh man, you just got to do it a bunch of times, I feel like. So we went out to the Truckee Bike Park. Obviously, you're not familiar with the area, but like they have some little progression drops and stuff. So like I went on the smallest drop and I tried popping off, and it wasn't until I went out to Granite Bay. I don't know if you saw the video of me going down a skinny and just dropping off there,
Mm-hmm.
but and that was after my crash.
Ooh.
So I was hesitant to do that little skinny and that drop, but my husband pushed me to do it. And I was like, okay, I'll do it. So like practicing the manuals, it helped me kind of push my body back and push the bike in front of me to where like it kind of gave me confidence. Like it feels good to do the drop. So if you go out on your curb and just ride off of it and just practice that mechanism, like you'll get it.
Yeah, I can do smaller drops, but I'd say about a month or so ago, I tried to do it was like a 4 or 5 foot drop.
Ooh.
And I didn't go back at the right time. And I went, thank God. But my suspension hit. I saw my front tire, like face to face with my front tire, and then I righted my. I thought I was going over OTB, and I was like, oh my God, over the bars, and you gotta really pull back, I guess.
Yeah, man, a 5 foot drop. That's pretty tall, I would say, because I'm 5 feet tall. So,
well, it's 5 feet, but it's 5 feet where you land. It was probably like 3, but you land a couple feet down.
Okay, so there was like okay. Yeah, those
I'm just getting
I
too
couldn't
old.
imagine landing flat though.
No, I landed right handle, that just front tire. Check, please, again.
So do you think it's a timing thing for you, or
Yeah,
what do you think
I think it
happened?
really is. I think I can pull back. I know to get my butt up behind the back tire. It's just the timing. I'm ashamed.
It's crazy to think like, because I'll overthink.
When to pop my tire up too, and I'm just thinking like, here I am, pedal, pedal, pedal. Oh wait, there's the end. Let me pop up. Like, I don't know. It's almost like you're in autopilot and you're just kind of cruising until you hit the end of the curb, essentially.
And then you got the trainer. So you've been training with you built the trainer.
I built the trainer.
Where'd you get the idea for that? Where did you come up with building your own trainer?
So Kyle and April, I don't know if you follow them on
Yep.
YouTube.
Yep.
They have a lot of how-tos and helpful videos. So I watched their video and I was like, hey, and this was after the crash. And I was like, maybe I should work on some skills before I go back out there. So that's what kind of inspired me to build a manual trainer. I'm not very handy with power tools or anything. So I mean, that part was that part was a little bit of a challenge, but it's stable, right? I mean, the bike,
it worked.
Oh man,
it worked. Right there in your living room.
Oh man, that's the best thing to do on Sundays. You know, you turn on the football game, you take the manual trainer out, you have a beer, and you just kind of work on your form. It's great.
What are you drinking there? What's your favorite beverage after a ride?
Okay, so this is a local beer. This is a
Farmers Brewing Company.
Farmers 530.
530.
So this is out of Glenn County, California. So I grew up in the next county over in Colusa County. So it's a really rural area. I don't even know what the population is there, but in Colusa it's 5,000, and that's where I grew up, in a little small flat town with no mountain biking.
And that's your favorite beer to have after a hard
I'd
ride?
say yeah. Yeah, so it's a wheat ale. I like my wheat ales. I like my low calorie IPAs to keep my figure, of course.
Your figure. I'm a PBR.
Yeah, the camera adds on 10 pounds.
My camera adds 50.
Oh no. You gotta get a new camera.
I like I don't drink beer, but I like a PBR after a ride. There's something about a cold ice, and it's got to be ice cold beer. Oh, it's so refreshing after a ride. You brought up Kyle and April, and this will cycle back. Do you have favorite YouTubers, not just females, but like YouTubers that, like, did you find yourself watching more YouTube since you've been a YouTuber?
Yeah, I would say I'm spending a lot more time on YouTube, kind of just looking at what other creators are doing. I like to watch Mahalo, my dude. They're huge, and they're out of Canada. So I mean, they're doing like heli drops into cool little areas, and like their content is amazing. Like just like the music alone and like the edits just make it so, I don't know, it just flows together. I can't explain it. I like Biking with Bobo just because he's hilarious.
Stupid. I love
and I feel like he has, you can tell he spends a lot of time kind of narrating his story. So that's cool to see. Some of the local guys, like I like watching Joe, the Colorado kid. He's funny. He's very into his mustache. So
he has got to be one of my favorite YouTubers by far. And he's grown so much in such a little bit of time, but he's had a lot
of success, I feel like.
And we can keep going, but just with Joe, is he like that in person when you met him? Was he fun? Was he a good time? I mean, I know.
So I met him
for YouTube, he amps him up.
So I met him at Dirt Days last year, and like, God, I barely knew who he was because I was new to the community, and I was just like blown away with like his humor and his mustache. Like, you got to get him on the show. Like, that's a good looking stash right there.
Yeah, he's got he's got a stash. Anyone else on the YouTubes? I mean, I'm sure you've passed by the single track or your burn peak stuff like that.
Oh yeah, so I'll watch Seth Burn Peak a little bit. I like watching BC POV and like Vangirl Yuka. Um, I don't know, something about Yuka, just like watching some of her content, like hitting these big old gaps and not even hesitating. Like it just, I don't know. She has the skill set, she has the confidence. So I mean, she's just sending it.
Yeah.
I just got done watching a series made by Michaela Gatto. She did like the Diamondback series. She's cool to watch. Like she'll do like a lifestyle piece. She'll do like a lot of like overnight camping, and then like she'll hit some cool trails and stuff. So that was cool to see as well. But Kyle and April as well for self-help, trying to brush up some of my skills. That's always good to watch.
I gotta be honest, I watch them a lot for the drops. They do a drop off.
Oh yeah, that how to drop.
Yeah, and I've
Yeah,
watched
so
them a
funny
lot.
story. I actually I don't know Kyle, but one of my supervisors at work is related to Kyle Warner. So
Wow.
I'm hoping he'll do an intro. Yeah.
Like cousins or second cousins or something. So I'm like, hey, get me an intro. Like I gotta meet Kyle and April.
I just hope he gets better.
Yeah, I know.
So are you planning on ramping up the YouTube? Are you getting inspired from all these people? Like putting out more content?
You know, I want to focus more on the YouTube.
Your microphone's doing that funky thing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
How's that?
There you go.
Okay. Yeah, no, I want to upgrade some of our equipment and get some different camera angles and kind of focus more on the YouTube channel for sure. I want to ride some new places and provide some new content to my viewers, and hopefully that'll help my channel grow.
Is your husband into it too?
You know what? He's been an amazing supporter. He's on board. He's probably my best camera guy at this point. He'll stop what he's doing. He'll stop his little, drops and jumps and whatever, and he'll come and record me, and he'll let me session stuff. So I couldn't do it without him. I mean, he's been great.
That's awesome to have that support. Where did you come up with the logo? How did you come up with all that? The sendrchick logo. Was it a friend and you were like, gave him kind of an idea of what you wanted?
So my husband and I started talking about starting the YouTube channel. I just had this image, like I was born on July 5th, so I had to have something with the American flag on it because I consider myself America's baby, of course. So I just saw downhill helmet, braid, goggles. Like that's me because I always ride with the side braid. So I feel like it looks like me.
Yeah, no, totally. There's one video, God, it was a North Star video, but you're having a beer afterwards and your logo was off to the side somewhere. And your braid was hanging on the left side. And so is your logo, your braid's hanging on the left side. I'm like, that's her. It's so awesome.
Oh, yeah. So I had a sketch of the logo, and then I actually hit up Stand Up on Instagram. I don't know if you're familiar with them. They'll do like bike sketches and like,
no,
check them out. They're pretty cool. Stand Out. But he helped me kind of like formalize my logo essentially. So I mean, like he kind of made it look finished. So it's like kind of like 3D-ish.
Yeah. That's cool.
So if you need any logo work done, I'll get you a contact.
I got a buddy in TV graphics that got mine going. I think I might rebrand. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I might go for a different look. Maybe go a little bit harder. YouTube is not easy. If anybody says, "Oh, I'm going to get into YouTube," it's forgot about you. Not easy. And you're pushing it, sister. Just, I mean, you've gotten in the past few days, I've noticed you've gotten like, and people would think this is 5 subscribers. That's huge.
No, I'm honestly surprised with the increase in subscribers. I don't know how they're coming about. I'm guessing it's from my Instagram, but it's always great to see your numbers going up.
Yeah, I'm floored by it. Like, you think, oh, I'm going to YouTube and get all the 1,000. How hard is it to get to 1,000? Got 76.
Oh my gosh.
You were 76.
Can I please get to 100 first? Like, gosh, it seems so difficult, but we'll see what happens when we start ramping up these videos. I'll have at least 2 to edit and produce and publish within the next couple of weeks. So I'm excited about that.
How much do you have on the TikTok?
Ooh.
Or do you have a big following on the TikToks?
Let me see here.
YouTube, I'm telling you, man. There are times when I sit back and question whether I want to keep going. Because I've got some good names and I've got you now. But it's hard.
It is hard. I do get discouraged at times, but at the end of the day, I have to remember that I'm doing this for fun. It's a creative outlet to,
yeah,
just have fun with editing and producing. I mean, I actually enjoy editing some of my content. Like, it's cool to go back and kind of play around with it and add some music and make it look cool. But my following on TikTok's not very big. I only have 146 followers, so it's hard to target those Gen Zs, right? I mean, just that population. I feel like that's what's mainly on TikTok.
I think with TikTok, you need to lip sync somebody's videos. That's why I don't get TikTok. It's either lip syncing somebody, doing an island boy something, or just reacting to someone else's video, or one of those videos that say, "Oh no, oh no." But that's old man talk
for mountain biking.
Exactly. Yeah, I just find it so. Plus doing the interview stuff, like getting interviews, is not an easy thing to do. I was supposed to have one earlier this week, and I have yet to get an email back. So it was really difficult. I wish I came up with a POV kind of YouTube thing.
Oh man. No, I was genuinely surprised that you reached out to me, and I'm definitely very grateful for you interviewing me. It's been fun chatting with you.
No, you're great. I'm a follower. I love what you do. I think what you're doing is great. You are because of your Instagram, you are an ambassador for Revel?
That's correct. I've been working with Rebel Writer, and I've been messaging with them back and forth, and decided to build up the courage to apply for their ambassador program. So I'm now working with Rebel Writer, which is a women's specific MTB clothing line, and Blizz, which is eyewear.
Mm-hmm.
So that's exciting.
Now, how does that go about? Do you have to reach out to them, or have they seen you in their stuff on the Instagram and YouTubes?
So I think Rebel noticed some of my content, and we were just messaging back and forth, and they were kind of dropping the hint like, hey, If you were to apply for ambassadorship program, this is what you do, kind of a thing. And I was like, oh, well, do you need to have so many followers? And at that point, I think I only had like maybe 600 or so. So I went for it, and I've been working for them for about a month now, just creating content to put out there. And that's primarily what I wear is just Rebel Rider.
And that's where you change into their clothing.
That was the hat flip, I think.
The hat flip and boom.
Yeah.
Creative stuff.
Yeah, no. And then Blizz is actually out of my local bike shop. So they carry Blizz Eyewear, Vans Bike Shop in Yuba City. They've actually been my big supporter. Funny story about this $6,000 bike. I know, story time. So I didn't know I was getting this bike. My husband accidentally bought this bike.
Accidentally.
It was the last one in stock, and he was like, oh, well, what do I do if I just kind of do the financing and, maybe it won't go through? I get a call later at work saying, hey, babe, I accidentally bought this $6,000 bike for you. It'll be delivered at Van's Bike Shop. So here I am like, what am I going to do with this thing? Well, I'm going to ride it, of course, but it got delivered to Van's Bike Shop, which prompted a conversation with some of the guys out there who were like, hey, you have this YouTube channel, you're local, let's start promoting mountain biking in this area because people don't know about it. So I've been working with them pretty closely. It's cool to, work with your local bike shop, do group rides, and we're trying to promote some more mountain biking out here in Sutter County. Hopefully we're going to be developing a pump track too. So
nice.
More to come.
Wow, your husband just surprised you with a $6,000 bike.
Yeah, most expensive gift, more than my wedding ring, let's just say.
That is amazing. That's probably the best story. You were like riding a Trek not too long ago.
Oh man.
Not to say Trek
is the Cadillac of bikes.
Yeah. But you're riding my dream bike someday. Now, back to Revel. Would you recommend them? Of course, they're comfortable wear for the ladies or for the men. Anyone?
I don't think it's women specific, but if you want to try it out.
I didn't know if it was.
It is women specific, but it's 2021. If you want to try it out, go ahead.
There you go.
I'd say it fits comfortably. It's sized for women. It's not, overly baggy, and it doesn't feel like I'm wearing like a potato sack. It's great to have some women specific mountain bike gear. When you're going out and shopping at these bike shops, you just feel kind of out of place.
I gotta tell you, you make me smile when I see your YouTube and I see your Instagram. You bring joy and you're an inspiration, and I think it's great what you're doing.
I appreciate that. Thank you. It definitely inspires me to keep going.
Maybe I'll join TikTok and follow you there.
Yes, you have to do some trends though if you're going to join.
Oh God, I got to keep up with the Instagrams now. I got to keep up with that. I got to try to get up to your level of Instagrams. I don't know how to do it.
Consistent content.
I'm so busy. But you're busy too. You're changing people's lives. And you're riding bike. Kristy, I can't thank you enough for coming on tonight. I'll let you go eat dinner, be with your family, your dogs and your husband. But I can't thank you enough for coming on, and I wish you nothing but great success with what you're doing. And I think it's here or here. I will post I never know which one it is. I will post you'll have your link.
I'm going to guess here too. Oh wait, that's the opposite.
gonna link your stuff right here.
Okay.
And people go on sendrchick. It's without the E at the end. Send our chick. You're gonna love her stuff, guys. She's gonna be huge, and I can say I knew her when. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Thank you for having me here. Awesome chatting with you. I might have to make a trip out there and go ride some of your trails out there.
No, don't do it.
All right.